Hi, this is Jonathan again. In today's video, I'm going to discuss about string heights and how it affects your playing. So I have questions coming in about how I set up my saddle heights for my tally as well as for my strats. And in most cases, I would tell them to, if you're not sure about doing all this stuff, you can send it to your luthier, to get it sorted out. But it's relatively a simple thing to do. All you need is a small Allen key, which is mostly supplied with your guitar if you buy it brand new, or you can get a bunch of them, in the hardware store. And there's a size to it, which I'll put in the link below. So it's relatively simple procedure. So you can always do it to your heart's content. The thing about adjusting heights is that you have to find out what works. First you have to get your neck sorted out so that it's straight, or if you prefer a little bit of a concave towards the middle. Some of us like it real straight. Some of us have sort of a dip, just a slight dip. So get your neck sorted out. Get it all worked out in the way that you want it, and then you start adjusting the height of your strings. From individual playing style, it all depends on what's your own preference. One man's meat is another man's poison. So don't go thinking that whatever I'm advising you right now is the way to go. No, it doesn't work that way. It's your own individual preference, right? So when I do height adjustment, I have to take into consideration my style of playing. How I use my whammy bar, if there's a whammy bar, and if I'm playing on a tally, how I want it to play. Do I use a lot of fingers, or do I use a lot of picks? And the way I bend, it also dictates on how high my string heights will be. So with a tally bridge, the saddle adjustment are as follows. So you need the Allen key for this, so that you can actually adjust the height of these individual tree saddles. Now this is a tree saddle bridge where two strings share a single saddle. You have to adjust these Allen keys here to adjust the height of individual saddles in this bridge. And of course, the back is where you adjust the forward and aft for intonation purposes. Find out what is your preferred height of your saddle so that you can actually play on your fretboard in a way that is comfortable. Now, in the case of a Stratocaster or with a bridge with individual saddle heights, this is the same principle where you adjust the individual heights of each saddle with the, most of the time, supplied Allen keys. And this is where you can actually adjust how high or how low you want to get. Now, of course, in saddles like this with a tremolo arm, most of the time you will have either a two pole or a 6 screw for your tremolo arm. So in this case, you can actually have it adjusted, a macro adjustment for the overall height of the bridge. So all we need to do is actually to experiment in one way or another. I set up my own guitars my own way because I experiment with this. I adjusted my individual heights for each individual saddles, and if I got it right in a way concave so that it matches the curvature of the fretboard, and if I feel comfortable with it, I'll just stick with it. And after playing, if I feel that it's a bit too low or a bit too high, I will adjust accordingly with this overall 2-pole adjustment. When your string height is properly adjusted, again, it depends on your own individual preference. Some of us have really strong fingers where you can have really low actions when you're bending, when you're doing a bend. Like for me, I would bend under the strings. As you can see, the strings are on top of my fingernails. Some of us will bend across with, if you have enough strength on your fingers, you can actually push them strings together across the fretboard, So it depends on your position on where you are. At times I will have to do that because of necessity, but most of the time I would prefer to bend under the strings, as you can see. And when I do that, the advantages is that I can actually do overbends if I want to. I don't have to fight against all this rest of the strings. The tension of the, in this case I'm bending the B string, I don't have to fight against the tension of the G and the D. In this case, I'm fighting against it, right? Can you see that? So I'm struggling a little bit. But if you have, if you position your fingers, or rather your fingernails, in the right way, where it goes under the string, then it'll be a breeze. In this case, when I'm bending the 3rd string, I have no way of going under the strings in this case, so I have to more or less go across in this way. Can you see that? It is fighting against. So just a little tip on how you can do string bending with the proper height adjustment. In this case, of course, if your string height is high enough, then it'll be a breeze. But some of us want it to be low enough so that you can fret easily or play without too much effort. So there you go. It's relatively simple. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to, subscribe and hit the bell, and you'll be notified every time I come out a video. I'll be leaving for, I'll be outstation. I'll be leaving the country from Tuesday until next Tuesday. So I'll try to, try to post something up when I'm on my trip. I'm going to visit some studios in China as well as some friends in Taiwan. So you guys take care. Until later, ciao.